The Junko Furuta case. The 44 Days of Hell. Today, we're stepping into one of the most disturbing and heartbreaking crime stories ever recorded that shook Japan to its core and continues to haunt anyone who hears it. This is the story of Junko Furuta, a 17-year-old high school student whose life was stolen in one of the most brutal crimes in modern history. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Story background. It was November 25th, 1988, in Misato, a quiet suburb of Tokyo. Junko Furuta was like any other bright and ambitious teenager, responsible, hardworking, and admired for her determination. She was heading home from her part-time job at a plastic molding factory. Her plans were simple: to graduate, find a stable job, and maybe start a normal life. But that evening, fate placed her in the path of a group of teenage boys who were already entangled in local crime. The ringleader, Hiroshi Miyano, had ties to the Yakuza, the connections that made him feared even by other criminals. His ego couldn't handle rejection, and earlier, Junko had done exactly that. As she rode her bicycle home, the boys staged an ambush. They knocked her off the bike, pretending it was a random attack, then played the role of rescuers. Terrified and disoriented, Junko agreed to follow Miyano only to be abducted and taken to a house that would soon become known as the House of Horrors. For the next 44 days, Junko Furuta endured unimaginable torture at the hands of boys aged between 16 and 18. This wasn't a hidden crime. The house was occupied. Neighbors visited. Friends came and went. Everyone heard something, suspected something, but Yakuza's looming shadow kept them silent. Junko was kept captive in a small room, where she was subjected to continuous physical, psychological, and sexual abuse. The cruelty escalated daily. Her injuries became so severe that she eventually could no longer stand, speak, or even hold water in her body. And yet her captors did nothing but intensify the brutality. What makes this case even more horrifying is how preventable it was. At one point, Junko managed to dial the police during a moment of opportunity. But when officers arrived at the house, her captors confidently insisted it was a misunderstanding, just kids messing around, and the officers left. If they had searched the house that night, the story of Junko Furuta might have ended differently. By day 44, her body was failing. She had endured more than the human body was ever meant to survive. And on January 4th, 1989, Junko finally succumbed to her injuries alone, abandoned, and robbed of every chance she ever had. Panicked, the boys stuffed her body in a concrete-filled drum and dumped it near an industrial site in Koto, Tokyo. They thought the concrete would hide the truth forever, but it didn't. The police investigation moved quickly. One of the perpetrators confessed, leading authorities straight to the drum containing Junko's remains. The autopsy revealed injuries so extensive. Doctors were stunned she survived as long as she did. Public outrage exploded. The nation demanded harsh punishment. But what happened next shook Japan even further. Because the boys were tried not as adults, but as minors, despite the brutality, despite the planning, despite the 44 days of torture. They received sentences far lighter than anyone expected. Most served fewer than 10 years. Even today, this case is often cited as one of the reasons Japan reevaluated juvenile crime laws. But beyond the legal system, beyond the headlines, beyond the details, there's Junko, a girl who just wanted a normal life, a girl whose kindness, ambition, and future were stolen by senseless cruelty. Her story is not simply a crime case. It is a reminder of how silence, fear, and apathy can enable evil, and it stands as one of the most sobering examples of the darkest corners humanity can fall into. This has been Dead Ends and Red Herrings. Thank you for joining me as we explored the tragic disappearance of innocence in the Junko Furuta case. If you found today's episode impactful, remember to like, follow, and share the podcast. Join us next time as we uncover another chilling mystery from the shadows.